Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm Young103 and today I'm back with another episode of my journey with Bingo Boffin. I do of course film this right after the last part, that's why it's still dark. And in the last part we of course stay the night in the troll house and save the little villain whisker, as Bingo Boffin choose to call it. We're about to head off within Rivendell and speak with Elrond.
I am excited to explore, but right now my stomach is rumbling.
I'm excited to explore the hidden valley of Rivendell, my friend. But right now my stomach is rumbling. The elves must surely have a dining hall, or a storehouse for their meals. I'm going to take Willem Whiskers and find a bite for us to eat. You should introduce yourself to the top elf and tell him that we have come for a short visit. I have heard nothing of the hospitality of elves, but it must not be for its lack. He will not turn us away, surely. Okay, so I will go straight to Elrond's library then. And of course I will cut out this little ride and see you right there. And here we are, the library of Elrond. Let's see what he has to say to our visit.
Dark days are coming.
More guests. This is what happens when you allow one hobbit into your home. More arrive soon after, and more after that. I will not turn this Bingo away, as long as he remains a polite and respectable house guest. You should show him to Bilbo Baggins, in the Hall of Fire. They must have a great deal in common, despite my jest. Hobbits remain an unusual sight in Elandris. Okay, so we're gonna find Bilbo Baggins. That shouldn't be too hard. I'm pretty sure it's right across the hallway. I'm of course gonna do a sneaky jump down just because saves time. And I'm pretty sure it was in here they used to be. Yeah, the Hall of Fire. And there you go. Even Bingo is already here.
It's Bilbo Baggins, the famed adventurer from up Hobbiton Way.
I've been filling him in with the tidings of home. And he has been telling me about his stay with the elves of Rivendell. Bingo looks at you conspirationally and quickly whispers, "He seems a right ordinary fellow to me, not mad at all," before proceeding in a normal tone of voice. Bilbo has had the capital idea of drawing me a map so I can best explore Rivendell and not miss anything. What fun! This one.
How do you
exactly.
do?
It is always a pleasure to see Hobbit outside the Shire. Whoa. Bingo seems to be quite an interesting fellow, and I'm glad to see him testing his limits. I've drawn a quick map of some notable sites here in Rivendell. Find each of these locations and you will have seen some of the most notable locations in this beautiful valley. If I had more time, I could make a much prettier map, but I made this one with some haste. Go now, before Bingo loses his taste for exploration and his adventure. It is a fear of mine for all hobbits, that the wanderlust will depart as quickly as it arrives. Okay? So we have to find the market, the lake, the spire, haven, falls of Imladris, and the Imboln on the road. Imdoln? Okay. I hope they are marked on my map as well. Let's just go outside and check. While I try to sit down a bit more properly in my noisy chair. Oof. There you go. Okay, that's a lot of spots to visit. The closest one is right down here, so maybe that one first. I hope that's the closest one. Then we follow the road to go here. Go a quick detour up and then down again in the hope that I will find all of it. So for the first one you have to take this bridge. And then I guess this bridge as well. Okay, I can do a little sneaky detour here. Oh, there's Bingo Boffin. In one place. That's a big waterfall. Maybe we should look at it a bit more like this. I kind of want to take a screenshot here. Let's see. Can I demount my mount? Or my deer? Not bad. A lot of water. And let's see. Then the next post will be right here in the spire. Maybe not the wisest to just run through it, but oh well. Luckily I have the running boost, so that should save a bit of time anyways. An elf told me that sometimes large crowds gather here. It's a nice spot. The next one, might just jump on it. It would be in this area. I'm not sure what this big blob is for. Maybe the market? I'm not sure what of the lake. Maybe it's the lake. Something is really big marked at least. And we did just find something. The market, I think. But there he is. What delights the elf must fashion in this lovely valley. Okay, so that spot disappeared. I think I'm gonna go to the highest one first. I forgot what it was called there. I mean, it's not the lake at least. I'm guessing it's the Imdoln, since it's north of Rivendell. But, oh okay, this last dot might be there. Oh, I need to pay attention where I'm riding as well. Yeah, straightforward on this road. Unfortunately, I can't really ride anything faster. That would have saved even more time, but this is as fast as it goes. Again, it's not too bad. We get to see a lot of nice places in Rivendell at least through this quest. And some of them I hardly ever visit myself, like this top one. The only times I've run into it is when I did ride wrong and forgot to take the ride to Misty Mountains. Here's Bingo hiding somewhere. Here he is. I'm a bit out of breath even from just the climb. It should be a beautiful spot as well. Now we are missing the lake and the haven. I'm guessing the big blob is still the lake. And then the haven is probably hiding, that little dot hiding over there. At least the last dot does not really seem like a lake to me. But we still have to find Bingo Boffin in that big blob as well. Or we don't really have to, but it's fun to see what he has to say about it. How does this work? I'm gonna jump down here, I think. Not that it matters, but maybe we have to find the lake first. Okay, so we found the lake. I can't really see Bingo. Oh, okay, we ended up swimming after all. I'm not sure at which end he should have been hiding. Doesn't really tell me. Oh, did I just see him? I think I just saw him. There he is. Just want to hear and see what he has to say about this little spot. And this is also quite a good looking spot. There's a shallow place nearby. That is how I got out here. It's a bit tiny for the high grass though. But again, a very good looking spot. Oh. was about to say. I need some nice looking screenshot, like always. Of course, we found a shallow spot because he cannot swim, as we learned a couple episodes back. Now we are only missing the haven, which is hiding in the forest out there. So let's see if I can find back the road. Or a road. And that's one here. But how does one come up there? Maybe I take that bridge here first. Yeah, there's a little road that's not on the map, so hopefully that one brings me to the right spot. How does this one go? Huh, learned something new. I did not know there was an auction here. But I'm not looking for the auction. I'm not sure how to get to the last spot, to be fair. I can't remember ever setting foot in this area. Like I said, I just learned myself there's an auction here after all. I didn't know Rivendell had an auction place. And these mountains are too tall for me. I'm legit confused. I have to get to that piece there, I'm guessing. And I can't not figure out how. Pretty sure the mountain was too steep at that side as well. I'm gonna give it one more try. Maybe I should not follow the path. Oh, maybe that was the problem. Don't follow the path. That's why there wasn't a path on it, but here it should be. And I did see Bingo, but then he disappeared on me. Maybe that's the problem, because I found less spots, so we weren't allowed to figure out what he had to say about it. So return the map to Bingo in the Hall of Fire. That's gonna be the same hole, of course. Yeah, I have to use the stairs, or it's not really the stairs, but stairs. This was a bit of a long request, so hopefully we have time to do one more. Let's see.
There is something very familiar about this map.
That was great fun, my friend. And at each stop I was amazed anew at the sheer beauty of Rivendell. I hope we did not prove a nuisance to the elves that live here, for I felt myself gawking at several points and had to restrain my tongue from wagging. Thank you again for holding onto the map, for I was able to keep my eyes up on the scenery instead of down on the paper. It is a quite well drawn map, now that I look more closely at it. Bingo stops talking and takes the map from you. Wait a moment. There's something most distinctive about this map. See how the artist used these lines here to form the shape of the mountains? Why that is most familiar to me, for the mountains on my own map are drawn in the very same fashion. You remember that map, right? It is the map that started my own adventure, so long ago now. Can it be that we have found the very hobbit who drew the map I found in the cookbook? I'm guessing that is true.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Ah, do you mean to tell me that Bingo found my map of Eriador? I'm delighted to hear it. Before I left the Shire for good, I spent some time visiting my old haunts and fixing the dear place in my memory. I can still see many of my favorite sunny paths and peaceful benches, even now. But one thing brought sadness to my heart, and it was that the belief that none of the dear hobbits I was leaving behind would ever experience the same joy I had in seeing the world. Oh, I knew Frodo would be alright. He always been an adventurer boy, but he was unusual in that regard. I conceived of a plan. I would draw a map of the wider world and I would leave it in the cookbook in the library of Duckenborg. Perhaps would it be found by an increases the hobbit on one who needed only the slightest of pushes to embark on a grand adventure. And look, I was right. Gandalf would be so proud of my inventiveness. I do hope for Bingo's sake that there will be no dragons involved, as there were for me. Then I would feel most responsible, but for now it seems to me a lark and a joy.
I have so many questions about his adventures and his riding both.
I can hardly believe it. Bingo, or Bilbo Baggins, the great author and adventurer, is the one responsible for getting me started on this grand journey of mine. I will have so many things to ask him about his adventure and his writing both.
I wonder what Bilbo would think of my account so far.
I wonder what Bilbo would think of my account of our journey so far. He is both an author and an adventurer, and I would be very interested to hear any feedback he might have to the offer. Can you give him my manuscript so far and ask if he will read through it? I'm too shy to ask him myself, but if you ask, perhaps he would be willing to take the time to read it.
Oh, good day.
Bingo spoke to me of the account he is writing of his journey. This must be it. It will be pleased to read it and give him my thoughts. Give me a few moments to look over the manuscript. It should not be too long, but I will need some time to read it carefully. I will give my undivided attention. Okay, so it will take me 2 minutes. Okay, I'm just gonna stand here and wait, and you will hear from me when the time runs out. The time has almost run out, so hopefully he is finished now. There you go.
Hello there.
I've finished reading Bingo's manuscript, and I made a few notes. I very much enjoyed reading about the Shire again. I confess that I do miss the peace and quiet of my home, and Bingo's writing has reminded me of it in fine fashion, methodical and calm. I also enjoyed his account of the people he has met along the way. Tom Bombadil and the treasure seekers in Forsaken Inn, and also his lynx friend, Willem Whisker. Bingo is fortunate he has faced little adversity to this point, and I hope his journey remains danger-free as it progresses. My own adventure was full of trolls and goblins and dragons, as well as an obstinate dwarves and elves alike. Tell Bingo I enjoyed reading his account very much, and I will look forward to the rest when his journey is done.
Bilbo didn't like it? Oh no, we have to do something!
Well, what did estimate Bilbo think of my account to this point? You tell Bingo what Bilbo has had to say about his writing, but the more you speak, the more disappointed Bingo becomes. He liked the peace and quiet of the Shire. I'm writing an adventurous story. Calm, that is the last thing I want my account to be. He hoped that the rest of my journey would be danger-free. What a disaster. We have to do something. My journey has not been exciting enough, and I have not been including enough description. Find the dangerous creatures in the High Moor or Giant Valley and defeat them, making note of how exciting you find the battles. And return to the Fort of Brune and take some better notes of its appearance. I was so distracted thinking about Willem Whisker that I wrote only a chorusy piece about it. I need some help fleshing out the description. Okay, defeat dangerous creatures. And take some more notes. Oh gosh, that's a long ride again. I might as well cut the progress out, of course. Because it's nothing fun to see. Okay, so to speed up the progress, I just killed some creatures off camera who were on the hill here. Those were just creatures like bears and lynxes and flies, and we all only have to write some more. And then that's it. And we have to return back to Rivendell. Let's see what Bingo finds from his notebook now.
Very good, my friend. This will add some spice to my account.
You have returned, my friend, and I hope you have plenty of exciting and dangerous battles with which to spice up my manuscript. And I see that you also have taken down some notes on the fort of Brunn. Very good. I will use these notes to expand my description of the crossing. Bibble will not believe how flowery my description will be now.
Hello there.
You must be speaking in jest. That is what Bingo took away from my feedback concerning his account of the journey. I did not mean that at all. Bingo has missed the point completely. Can you tell him that what that is really important in writing is how the writer conveys to the reader the experience of the adventure? I'm not interested in how the journey made Bingo feel. Not in the number of dangers he faced or the quantity of adjectives that he uses to describe the place he has found. I enjoyed Bingo's account and want to read more of it, but he has completely misunderstood my notes. Tell him not to worry about the reception to his book, or he will never write another sincere word.
My journey has only just begun. Where should we go next?
I do not know about that. I respect Bilbo's opinion, so I will not press the issue. But I do worry that my journey has not been exciting enough to hold a reader's interest. I will try and come up with some way to thrill my future readers, and I hope you will think on it as well. I have come to Rivendell, but now my journey has only just begun. Where should we go next? I'm gonna go for open-minded, and I'm gonna stop right here and
lull my future readers to sleep.
cut this part right here. I hope, of course, that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please do give it a thumbs up. And if you want to follow this series, you can of course always subscribe to my channel or follow me on Twitter and Instagram. For now, thank you so much for watching, and I do hope I see you next time. Bye bye!